Berry, and I would like to thank you guys for coming to my presentation. I chose to volunteer with an organization called Central Texas Food Bank right here in Austin. I've traveled around quite a bit, as you know from my previous presentations, and I decided I want to tackle an issue right here in my community. And I decided that this was important because it's an issue that we don't really hear too much about, because it's not really in your eyes or in your face here in America. But 13% of Americans are actually below the poverty line. And that may not sound like a whole lot. 13% doesn't seem like a whole lot of people, but when you take the whole population of the United States, it's actually 46 million people. And so 46 million people rely on food banks and other sources to get their meals. So as you can see from your handout, they're a member of Feeding America, which is basically a conglomerate of all the food banks in America, but the Central Texas Food Bank is the biggest one. It's as big as Massachusetts in area, and it serves 23 counties and counting. I also put some facts about the institution, and they have 17,000 volunteers, and that's just an average per year. They have about that many people, and they only actually ask you to give up 3 hours to go volunteer. So let me tell you a little bit about my experience there. When I went, I was able to go a Thursday before this class, actually, and it really didn't take up too much of my time, and they really made you feel appreciated. It's the volunteers are the heart and soul of this organization, and they want you to know it. They want to make sure you feel like you did something. So when I was there, they played some music, and we all bagged grapefruits. They put us in the warehouse, and I was actually able to, with my other volunteers, we were able to bag 15,000 pounds of grapefruits. That's a lot of grapefruits. And they don't just give the grapefruits to people, they give them a whole meal. So they give them a protein, they give them a citrus, and they give them carbohydrates. So the main volunteer administrator there was telling us how there's a variety of roles that you can participate in. If warehouse bagging grapefruits isn't really your thing, then, or bagging other types of materials like meats or bananas, anything like that. You can go actually on sort of a bus route that they go, and they hand out the food and distribute it to the people themselves that need this food. And she says that people wait in hot, cold weather for hours and hours to get this food. So these are people who are deserving of this food and people who really need it. So I felt pretty great, and it wasn't a huge hassle at all. They played music while we volunteered, and there's other people there that are great civic-minded people, a lot of college students. I actually had lunch at Torchy's Tacos after I was done volunteering with some friends I made there, so it's great to make friends, and it was actually a really great experience. So one of the things they say is give a few hours, feed a few hundred. And it's really a great thing to do here in the U.S. because there's so many people that still need this. And another great thing I researched was they actually make the taxpayers' money increase. So they work with SNAP, which is basically food stamps, so people on welfare can pick up their food, but they try to give them more food than what the money is worth. So if, let's say, I have $5 of my taxes go to pay for somebody's meal, they would double that. So they give them $10 worth of food. So it's not only helping them, it's helping your money last longer and give them more food to sustain them longer. When I was a kid, I never had to worry about if my parents were going to have food on the table. It was just something I knew about. And something that struck me was the volunteer administrator told us, people are having to choose between a car payment or a house payment and food. And I don't believe that should be even an option, especially here in America. And one of the great things about this is if we can sort out all these problems out in America, make sure everybody has enough food here, then we can go to other countries and help out other countries. So I told you about how it's not really that time consuming, and I'm sure you can give up some of your time to go do this. The vision for the future is we want to see America without any hunger, and they want to grow until they can feed everybody. So that's our vision for the future, and I hope you guys can help out. It just takes a couple of hours of your time and you can feel like you did something really great. So thank you guys very much, appreciate it.